This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
No.
This
Just
is
stop.
a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. Happy Friday, everybody.
Hey, how are you?
Feeling good?
Feeling good. I just showed Tori a picture of our event last night. We did something for a friend of ours named Todd that is battling cancer.
That's right.
And so we went and emceed the event, and here's Tori shaving a man's head in solidarity for him going through chemo.
We should have given the picture to the
Oh, I just got it as the, yes.
Yeah, but it was really fun. Al tried shaving, but we raised some good money for a good cause.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Good for
Yeah.
you guys.
Thank you.
All
very
good
much.
things.
Yep.
See?
Maybe we can show it later.
Yeah.
Here's a picture of me riding a llama. We just had a llama a second. All right. Welcome to DBL. We've got new details about Matthew Perry's death. 5 people were arrested, including 2 doctors, a live-in personal assistant, an acquaintance, and an alleged drug dealer known as the Ketamine Queen. Officials say they conspired to give Matthew Perry ketamine, which ultimately caused his death last year. Now we're learning that Perry's assistant gave him at least 3 shots of ketamine on the day he died. Here's what the administrator for the DEA said about it on the Today Show. Check it out.
He started receiving treatment for anxiety and depression. And at some point, he needed or wanted a higher dosage that the doctors would not provide. So at that point, he sought out other doctors. And it's part of the tragedy of this case that doctors are in a position of authority and trust, and these 2 doctors violated that. They saw him as a payday.
So we're also learning more about this so-called ketamine queen. TMZ reports she was really into the mafia and even created her own website paying tribute to the life of organized crime. Authorities raided her house following Perry's death, and here's what they found.
Matthew Perry's death was last fall, and then we did a search warrant earlier this year, and she was still running a drug emporium. There were 79 vials of ketamine, more than 1,000 pills that are essentially methamphetamine. Yeah. So she was a significant drug trafficker. And again, we also have now been able to connect her sale of ketamine to an individual, Cody McGlory, who died in 2019. So she's a significant source of supply in Los Angeles. And again, Matthew Perry got to her after starting with the unscrupulous doctors and then turning to the streets.
I mean, this isn't like an outlier. This has been happening forever. It happens not only in Hollywood, but across the world in the United States. I was just singing that song out of nowhere because we just did a previous show before this, but I was singing that song, He's the One You Call Dr. Feelgood, like from the 80s or 90s.
Right.
And that's about a drug dealer.
Yeah,
but you kind of glorified it
Jeff,
back then.
Everybody knew what that song was about.
Right.
How did that happen, Erica? Were people pre-Google figuring out what Dr. Feelgood did? Or have drugs been a part of our society since we were lied to as 5th graders and told that they were sailing the high seas in the 1400s for spices? They were looking for opium in Afghanistan way back then. Drugs have been a part of human society since human beings have existed. When human beings have an enormous amount of leverage, money, power, influence, they can get the drugs that they want in the neighborhood they want, in the quantity that they want. We can wring our hands about this. We can say the cops should have been involved and doctors should go to jail, but this will continue to happen. Now, should these people be prosecuted? Yes, but then are we going to set the precedent that everybody that is doing drugs, all of their dealers and everybody around them is going to be investigated to this extent? I don't think that we can do this. I think that this is a PR stunt, basically by the LAPD, because they have to look like we're doing something about crime. Did you see where that house was? Was it conspicuous?
Well, that was Matthew Perry's home, right?
I think they were searching. That was
the drug dealer,
Ketamine Queen's house.
Yes,
yeah,
I mean that didn't seem to.
No, the photo that we just sent or the video was Matthew Perry's home.
Oh, the final one. Yeah,
Oh,
the drugs were inside her house, and then they showed Matthew Perry after the death.
Right.
Yeah, this is after the death.
Is that her house?
No, that's Matthew Perry's after the death. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't understand. I do want to give you what one of the doctors has said. He has made a statement from his lawyer. This is Dr. Salvador Plasencia. He says the doctor was operating with what he thought were the best of medical intentions, and his actions certainly didn't rise to the level of criminal misconduct. His only concern was to give his best medical treatment and to do no harm. Unfortunately, harm was done, but it was after his involvement. which is insane to me that they would say that after what they found and what they did. Apparently, after he was given 3 shots of it on the day he died. Apparently, at one point, he seized up while doing it, and then they continued giving it to him. So do no harm here seems like a major problem that they're going to have to deal with.
What do you guys think about going after the assistant?
Well, he aided and abetted in the death.
That's the thing.
That's a tough one.
I know.
No, that's a tough one.
It's difficult.
It is because you're also, I'm sure he had many different roles. I mean, he was likely the catch-all in Matthew Perry's life.
Right.
But a part of that was also administering this drug, which, I mean, at that point, I'm sure that position paid well. I'm sure it granted him, you know, a life that he enjoyed living. People end up in situations where they're like, it's the roof over my head, it's feeding my family, it's doing all of this, and now I'm compromised in this way. But if everything goes well, it's like everybody has a plan until you get punched in the face.
That's exactly right.
But if it's black and white, it's wrong.
Right.
But then also, I mean, now we're kind of going down a rabbit hole here, but if you're giving someone money on the street and you know what they're doing with that, are you prosecuted somehow?
Like culpable?
If you're helping a family member that you know has been on drugs, stealing, lying for years and years, and you're just trying to help him out in any way you can, and you give him money, are you now accountable for that? You could go down a different rabbit hole that touches everybody.
And it's crazy because I feel like so many of us understand what this road is. Because, I mean, I know I have personally lost family members and friends to drug addiction. And when I think back, like, one of the things I'm most grateful for is that my mother, very early on, I was probably like 11 or 12, and she's like, you have an addictive personality. Do not even try any of these things once. And I think of every single, I came of age into the nightclub industry, and everything was around me all the time.
We grew up in the same spot, and it was everywhere, and I never touched it either. Not trying to be.
No, I'm saying,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Because I knew, and I was so scared of that, I never tried. But then I think of the people who were just vulnerable in that situation and how quickly things turned. And you see it. You see it so fast, like one decision in a vulnerable position. And a vulnerable position could be just hanging out at a nightclub with your friends, and you've had a few too many cocktails, and someone offers you something and you decide to use it, and then all of a sudden you have a problem. So I can see how quickly these things happen. People act like it's some nefarious like thing that you were going out to do, but sometimes it's not.
It's a fork in the road.
Yeah, this is an interesting conversation. There's so many forks in the road that you could talk about. Switching gears here, a lot of people online have been talking about Blake Lively and the alleged drama behind the scenes of her new movie, It Ends With Us. The movie is about a woman in an abusive relationship and stars Justin Baldoni as her love interest. Justin also directed the film, and Blake was a producer. Rumors of a feud between the two started during the New York premiere. Blake was seen posing with some of her co-stars, but not with Justin. He didn't take any photos with any of the cast. Blake also confirmed her husband, Ryan Reynolds, wrote an iconic scene in the film, fueling speculation that she and Justin butted heads over the film's production. Blake was criticized for not speaking out enough about the film's message surrounding domestic violence. She is also getting heat over this resurfaced interview from 2016. Take a look.
First of all, congrats on your little bump.
Congrats on your little bump.
Did you guys love wearing those kind of clothes that you...
Yeah.
And you know, working in digital...
Everyone wants to talk about the clothes, but I wonder if they would ask the men about the clothes.
I would.
I love Jesse's suits and how
that's what I'm saying. His wardrobe was beautiful.
I know,
Corey's wardrobe was gorgeous.
He's
Those
so
high-waisted pants.
He's so great.
I would wish men
and
wore
sorry
high-waisted
too.
pants like that still.
Listen, not a good look, and I've been in the interviewer's position before, and I touted Blake Lively on this show. She was on my laminated list.
And?
She's off my laminated list.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
I don't like it. And one more thing. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah,
I don't like
either.
when people treat other people less than, and I don't like those gotcha snapback questions that you're in no position to answer as someone trying to make, cut their teeth as an interviewer, and someone just dismisses your existence. That's disgusting.
And by the way, the journalist, I have to...
I'm sorry, it's one interview, but I did not like that
and I
at
have
all.
to say,
I'm just surprised by the reaction.
Well, I would say the journalist also said she wanted to quit her job as a journalist because she felt so uncomfortable. Also, in terms of talking about the men's clothes and girls' clothes, this entire tour has been about her clothing the entire time It Ends With Us. I've gone on a deep rabbit hole here, and Blake Lively's promotion of It Ends With Us has been horribly misrepresented in terms of how she is doing it. It's all about her beauty, her little flower shop, her Betty Buzz alcohol, her new skin care and hair care. Meanwhile, this guy who bought the rights is only speaking about domestic violence and speaking about that. When Blake got in trouble for that, she then posted about domestic violence. So she has not done a good job in this press tour.
I'm gonna take the other
Please
side.
do.
I'm gonna
Please
pull a
do.
Jeff.
All right,
Please
all
do.
right.
I think while all of those points are well received, I think one, I've never had the privilege of carrying a pregnancy to term. However, I do understand the hormones that are involved in pregnancy. I'm not saying that that was the reason why she reacted that way, but I can see there being something that I would give her grace for in that moment. The thing about the domestic violence, we don't know what her history is, and we don't know if this is something and how the questions are being presented is perhaps triggering to her, or if there's something behind it. I'm just simply saying that all of a sudden there's this shift. And it's interesting how this shift happens because we love to take people down when they've climbed up.
I agree,
I'm
but I
just
think
saying,
she's done a poor
don't
job.
take the movie if you can't promote it without being triggered.
Right. Well, you know what?
Thank you. I
agree
appreciate
with
that.
Erica. I switched teams.
Oh my God,
2-1.
Jeff.
Nah,
Tori
Jeff.
loses. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Janet Jackson spills the tea on her family tree. A Different World is making a comeback, and Tyrese's new look has some fans shook in this week's What Erica's Watching. Janet Jackson surprised many fans during an interview by name-dropping some of her famous relatives, not including her many siblings. Take a look.
Are you related to Stevie?
He's our cousin.
How have I gone that long in life
Not
without?
a lot of people know that. He's our cousin on my mother's side.
That's blown my mind.
So is Tracy Chapman.
Oh, whoa. Hang on. Can we go through the family tree again?
So is Samuel Jackson.
Now that's royal family with cheese. Next, Hillman College shaped the minds of some of my favorite characters, including Denise Huxtable, Dwayne Wayne, and Whitley Gilbert. And now the fictional HBCU is set to make a comeback with news of Netflix sequel in the works. The potential series will likely feature the daughter of Dwayne and Whitley, exploring a different world at Hillman, unlike what her parents experienced in the early 90s. Now, producers have tapped the original creative team to bring Hillman back to life, including director Debbie Allen. It's comeback season, y'all. Singer Tyrese shocked fans with his new look when he kicked off the NFL preseason in Los Angeles by singing the national anthem. He served Marvin Gaye vibes by sporting a full beard and a beanie like the Motown icon. Not only did Tyrese's retro look get mixed reviews, some critics weren't impressed with his interpretation of Marvin's 1983 rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner. Well, Tyrese disagreed that he failed miserably and attributed a few bad notes to his open mic. Well, Tyrese is set to make a comeback in a new film titled 1992, all about the LA riots in the early 90s. Share with me anything that catches your eye by using the hashtag DBLEricaWatch. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. He's been one of our favorite guests for years now, and he knows how to truly freak us out with his mind-blowing illusions. So earlier we had Wayne Hoffman on for his final appearance on DBL. Take a look.
I need one of you to help me out with an experiment. Who's in?
Albert.
I'm volunteering myself.
Albert.
All right, let's rock and roll. So I have some tarot cards here. Now, tarot cards, they say when you cut the cards, it'll tell your future. Now, nobody really knows what the future holds, but they say that each individual card represents something. So I'm going to go through each of the cards, and as I go through, all you have to do is tell me how many times you want to cut the cards, and that's how many times I'll cut it, and we'll see what card you cut to. So as I go through like this, all you'll do is we'll look at the card you cut to. So first of all, how many times do you want to cut the tarot cards? You tell me a number, and I'll cut that many times.
Good old-fashioned, I think 5's a good number.
That's a lot.
All right.
Oh my gosh, how
1,
much time do we have?
3, 4, 5. Let's see what we got. The sun. Well, this is great news because the sun means clarity, positivity, and a bright future. Yes. So that's awesome. Now, here's the thing. Did you ever hear of palm reading?
Yes.
Well, palm reading is real. You see, you chose the sun. The way you see what's on your palm, you need a light. Yeah, check this out.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
What?
It says the sun. You see?
I definitely
This was
see
meant
that.
to be, man. It was meant to be. But now we're gonna try something.
We're sunsetting too.
Yeah, play on words. But we're gonna try something else here, and I need 3 of you to participate. But we also need one of you to have a calculator. So, do you have a calculator?
I got one.
We need 3 people. So somebody name out loud a 3-digit number.
133.
Okay, so type in 133 into the calculator.
Okay.
All right, and now somebody else name a different 3-digit number.
214.
Okay, now you're not adding or subtracting, we're making a 9-digit number, so type in 214. So right now you should see on your calculator, I think it's 133214. Now we need to finish this 9-digit number. Somebody name another 3-digit number.
649.
649, is that right?
I've never heard her say
Yes, that's right.
649.
Okay, so now I think the number was 133214649. Was that it?
Yep.
Yeah, good job, Jeff.
Let me see if I still have this. In my wallet, I had this prediction here. Hang on.
Is there money?
Let me see. I don't want to show my
Is there
license on
that much
camera, but
money
check-
that you're going to share with us?
Yeah, no, I had 112142101, and but that's not right either. So I had another number here. I got to figure out why this isn't 07. This is weird, guys. I don't know what's happening, because I had this too on the other side. It was 210725548. You know what? I have an idea.
Okay.
It must be the difference in the numbers. Do me a favor.
No.
Hit the minus button.
Okay.
And then hit 21072
072
548.
548. And equal it?
Yeah. And what does it equal here? I'm going to write it on this big paper so everybody can surely see it. What's the answer?
Right there, Wayne.
112142101.
No.
And that's what I had earlier. That's weird. But you know what? Here's the deal, guys. If something doesn't look right at first,
Turn it upside
you just sometimes need to change your perspective.
It is that number.
Turn it up.
Stop it.
It's going to spell something.
No, it's 112.
No. Yeah,
So
it's going to spell.
I just wanted to say farewell to you guys, since this is my last appearance.
That was.
Wow, Wayne.
I don't know. I just do the stuff.
That was so great, man.
That was amazing.
I wish it wasn't farewell.
I thought he was going to be like, you're all staying on.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Wayne, we have always loved having you on the show over the years. You really are one of the greatest entertainers we've ever met.
Truly.
DBL Nation, if you would like to hire Wayne for your event or connect with him on social, visit WayneHoffman.com for all the details. We love you, Wayne. Thank you.
That was great.
We'll be right back.
Love you, buddy.
Love you guys.
Farewell, Wayne. That was great.
Take care.
Welcome back. You can never be too safe when it comes to your home or business, especially if you live in a natural disaster-prone area. That's why ServPro is dedicated to helping you in emergency situations. They're a leading disaster relief company and the #1 choice when it comes to cleanup and restoration. Their highly trained experts are available 24/7 with rapid response times. To learn more, you can go to servpro.com. So, Al, before we go, you and Tori were talking at the top of the show about our little event you guys did yesterday?
We managed to get a couple pictures in, I think, but Tori and I did a fundraiser for a friend of ours named Todd that's battling multiple myeloma.
Great.
So we did that last night, and we raised a great amount of money. That's me shaving somebody's head.
Looking very nervous.
Yeah, I had a full razor. I didn't want to kill this man, but it was a good time.
Great job, you guys. We'll see you guys on Monday.